So here we are at Franklin Farm, and this is Abby. She's, I think, 14 years old and going a bit deaf and a bit senile, but she does love to stare at a pond. She's the oldest dog we have on the farm, and we have, between all of us, 12, I think, 3 big outside dogs. More border collies than you can mention. This is Dyson. You probably can't see Mikey in the background. He's watching, waiting for somebody to run. We have Dachshund, who's gone off to explore the Koipu holes on the other side of the lake. And we also have an Italian Greyhound and an Australian Shepherd. All sizes and all types here. And they all eat quite a lot of bones. So it's quite lucky we have a farm butchery, because we managed to feed all of our dogs from our butchery. In fact, we had considered the other day we might need to get a bigger butchery, because the dogs literally leave us nothing left by the end of the week, which is a good thing because it means that we have a no waste butchery. On our farm we have what we started with 21 years ago was sheep. So when we moved over from Zimbabwe, we decided we would stay doing the same thing that we had done in Zim, which was farming, rather than changing to a new occupation, as we had to learn a new language and a new culture, a new system and everything. So we arrived here 21 years ago. We initially rented a property for the first probably 13 years, I think. We were living in somebody else's property, and then we've slowly bought bits and pieces as they come up in our area. Obviously using a mortgage, because we had no money when we arrived here. I think we probably still have no money, but anyhow. So we have we bought first a falling down tobacco barn, which we converted into a butchery that we could have downstairs, as we were not making any money selling all of our meat directly to the cooperative, as their prices didn't change at all. And then we've expanded by buying the small house that was opposite the butchery. And then we bought another piece of field, thanks to my grandma, who left us some money when she died. And we've slowly expanded little bit, but we still are in a position where we have to rent, probably rent or borrow, I suppose you could say, two-thirds, maybe 3/4 of the land we use to graze the sheep on. So that's the sheep. And then after we had the sheep, we decided we needed to have something a little bit more. Needed to add to the business, so we went into pigs, and we have about 70 pigs in total. That's females and males, and the piglets as well. They all live in a family group and grow up together. So we have about 70 of those. Abby, come on. And we also have now expanded into chickens. So anyway, we have about, I suppose, probably when all the sheep are around, i.e. there are the lambs and the mothers and the rams and everybody, we probably, depending on the year, have between, I don't know, 400 or 500 sheep on the land at any one time. So that's the sheep enterprise. And then the pigs, as I said, was 70. And now we've also got some chickens for eggs and for meat. Come, dogs. Come on. Eggs and for meat. I think we have probably something like 100 layers maybe, and about, come on dogs, about 40, 80, probably got about 80, 100 and 140 maybe meat chickens that we grow out in batches and sell to the public. All of our meat is sold to the public through the local market, through the local markets, which are probably about 30 minutes away from where we live in southwest France. I changed you around because you're probably more interested in watching the dogs than me. And we've been here for 21 years. We have 3 children, 2 of whom were born in Zimbabwe. Come on, Mushu. Mushu. Hey, Moosh. He's a little bit stubborn, but then I think that's probably Dachshunds, to be honest. A little bit stubborn. Likes to do his own thing. And he's not even really very old. I think he's 4. Anyway, that was a new experience, having a Dachshund. Totally different kettle of fish from a Border Collie. I need a very firm hand, otherwise they do not do what they're told. And now, we thought initially we'd get him for maybe helping ratting. But because he's grown up with Border Collies, he thinks that herding sheep is more fun. What do you know? He has been known to try and fetch them in as well. There's Mike, our insane Border Collie, who lives to herd chickens in reality, but will do sheep if he has to. Hey, I forget where I was now. So we have 3 children. The last child was born in France, and she's happily studying now up in the Netherlands, studying archaeology. And the other 2, the ones born in Zimbabwe, have moved back close to home. Our son is actually working with us on the farm, amazingly enough. And come, Moosh. Come, Moosh. Good boy. And our daughter, who doesn't work on the farm but does help out with various things, bits and pieces, as does her husband, who's our tech support guy. They live in the house literally round the back of our house. So they all moved home. I suspect it might be cupboard love, but they seem to be happy. Just had our first grandchild, which is great fun. Great fun. And hand them back. Little responsibility. It's lovely. Don't know what they found there. Must be something yummy. So as I said before, I think we do 2 markets a week. One in Rubrac, one in Sainte-Foy. This is not our lake. This is our neighbour's lake. But we have a very nice neighbour who doesn't mind if we wander around it occasionally. What are you doing, Dyson? Called Dyson because when he was a little boy, he hoovered up all the mess and chewed it to bits in the living room. Hence his name. So I've brought you down to the other lake, which is in fact our lake, and you can probably hear the sheep in the background. We've got a small group of fattening lambs who are probably a bit hungry and waiting to be fed this morning. Everything's a bit haywire because the crocs have changed this morning, and as a consequence, I think everybody's a bit confused about what time it is. Well, obviously not the sheep, but certainly us, that's for sure. It was nice to have an extra hour of sleep though, although it wasn't really an extra hour because I woke up at the same time anyway. But it was good. It was good. Means I can get some washing out. So here we are at the other lake. And I thought we would talk about how the farm is structured. So there's three of us, Gavin, my husband, Patrick, our son, and me, who run the farm unit itself. I'm Patrick. What does he call us? He calls us grow it, sell it, fix it. So he's grow it, I'm sell it, and my husband Gavin is fix it, which is quite a good way of remembering what we do on the farm. Although Gavin, in between the fixing bits, does do a bit of growing the stuff, and Patrick does help out with the selling of the stuff. But really, I'm the main butcher on the place. And there she is, having another stare at a different pond. She's totally loony. Anyhow, looks a bit grubby today. This is affectionately called Lake Madonna by our daughter, and there are some of the sheep across the field, trying to work out probably how to get around the fence now that the water's dropped so much, because it's been quite a dry summer and a hot summer, and the lake level is quite low. And we have, even though we've had quite a lot of rain this week, I would say that it's, well, actually, I don't really know. I haven't looked to see what the normal is for this time of year, but it's got a way to come back up to normal levels. So I am out pretty much 2 mornings a week, on a Friday and a Saturday. On a Friday and a Saturday at the markets. And as I said before, we do sell everything we produce. There's nothing left, which is good, because it means that we're in a good position, that people actually like our product, I suppose. We've been doing the local markets for about 14 years, one of them, and the other one, I think it must be 10 years next year. And they've been quite successful for us. We've got a very big English community down here, and they do appreciate the English style sausages and bacon that we make. But it has been noticeable recently that the French around the area, a lot of whom have lived or visited or have relatives living in the UK, are also quite appreciative of having English style bacon and sausages as well. It's obviously not everything that I do, otherwise I think people would just get bored, because people do, and you have to adapt what you make to fit what people want at the time. So I experiment with things and modify things depending on the season, so that people can have an interesting array of products to eat at all times. We try and have all of our animals outside all year. No, I don't mean try. All of our animals are outside all of the time, which is quite hard work when it comes to keeping up enthusiasm for life in the dead of winter, and also in the height of summer, when it's sometimes 42 degrees and you're carting 2,000 litres of water a day to feed the animals. So it's a difficult life at that respect, but I mean, you do keep fit. There's no need to go to a gym, although I have found that yoga is pretty good for me to keep my back functioning. This is the view out the front of our house, which is a rather splendid oak tree. And I forgot to tell you that we also have 2 cows that we got for milk to supplement the lambs who were suffering from bloat when they were being bottle fed, and the cows seem to have solved, or certainly helped to solve, that problem for us. I'm trying to find the geese, but I don't think, oh, they're sleeping, but the geese are actually over here. We have 2 geese, Sydney and Charisse, who are very, very good guard dogs, or guard geese, I should say. And I think that's the extent of our animal life on the farm. I'll show you some other things next time. But I think that's probably all that we're going to cover today, and I'd just like to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!